Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This will probably be one of the craziest videos we ever post to the channel because just when I thought we couldn't get a crazier deal than our last few plane acquisitions, this deal lands in our lap. The deal of a lifetime, a $27,000 Cessna 210. Not just any old 210, this one is a D model with the IO 520, 285 horsepower, a very desirable plane that should probably be worth like $127,000, not $27,000. So buckle up, grab your popcorn and a drink. This video is going to be long and you're gonna wanna stick around for the whole thing because this is the craziest deal we've ever negotiated on a plane. This is the most interesting flight back that we will ever do. We are planning to fly this plane over 1,000 miles home after it's been sitting for a very long time, and there's a lot more to the story. So without further ado, let me just roll a nice cinematic edit of our new Cessna 210. So there she is, another Cessna 210 to go along with our Cessna 210A, this being the D model, like I said, 285 horse instead of the 260, so IO 520. This is a beast of an airplane, 6 seats. The rear 2 seats are kind of for little kids or like watermelons or something, but still, 6 seats, big tires. We still have the struts. They got rid of those in 67, so this is a 64, but it can take a lot more weight than the 1961 because of the bigger engine. Okay, Jay. You ready? We're about to fire it up for the second time. We tested it once. Now this is the first time we're gonna really put it through its paces, do some high-speed taxis, run it up real good, right? Yep,
yeah, so we're gonna test it before we head out. I mean, Jeffrey and I started it 2-3 weeks ago, and everything looked good.
You know, we're not opposed to planes that have been sitting for a while. Our first Bonanza, that thing sat for a long time, many years. It was out of annual by a good bit, and then, you know, we got it all sorted out. So same thing with this. It's been sitting, it's missed some annuals, but now it's in annual. We're all legal to fly and everything. Let's see it fire up for the first time. Okay, then I'll jump in. I'll get it from the outside.
Cool.
All right, here we go. All right, there we go. I went in to grab some waters because it's 100 degrees and humid. We're gonna now do some high-speed taxi runs and some run-ups. Bam.
Come on.
Ooh, that's hot. Dang. All right.
There we go.
There we go. All right, let's keep it going. Here's the old oil. Did its job. No metal flakes, no concerning signs with the oil. Super easy. Well, not super easy. You gotta have the right little like drain hose to run up to that right there, and then you just stick it in, and then it starts pouring out into your bucket that you put right here. So now we're just gonna refill it. I really wish we had CamGuard, but of course the commercial airlines, you can't fly with it, so I was not able to bring it. So we'll just have to go with 10 quarts of normal regular oil. Phillips 20 weight 50, my favorite all-around oil. The engine bay is actually really tidy for having sat for a while, kind of just not being used for a while is the real issue here. It's actually pretty nice. I mean, take a look. Obviously it's dirty. I need to go to work, but look at this. It was overhauled by Victor Engines over in Palo Alto, California. They are a really, really good engine rebuilding shop. It's got about like 500 hours on it. 2 chrome cylinders. I'm pretty sure the orange means chrome. We borescoped them earlier. They look good as well. Everything is pointing to this being a nice plane. It just hasn't been used in a while. That's all. Like, poor thing. Happens to a lot of planes. They just sit around, owners get old, life changes, they lose medical, you know, they lose funds to keep it going. Whatever it may be, it happens all the time with planes. and this one just hasn't been flown much. The previous owner actually owned, I think word on the street is like 10 airplanes. So with 10 airplanes, even if you keep rotating them, you're only gonna fly each one a small amount of time per year. So that's what happened to this one, and it just got kind of like overshadowed by the cooler planes in the collection, like the King Air and the Queen Air and the Barons and the other cooler, faster planes. So this one wasn't used much. That's why we bought it. So we will be using it a lot more, especially for the price. How can you go wrong? I still have to explain why it was cheap, but let me fill this oil up real quick. All right, quart number 3. What was that, 9 to go? This thing likes 10, 11 quarts, something right in that range. It'll take about 20 more minutes. What we were shocked to find is there's no oil filter. Man, on these early planes, they only put an oil screen, but every plane we've ever had always has an oil filter, so I couldn't believe it. We're looking here for an oil filter, we don't see anything. It's because it's a screen. So now we have to do oil changes twice as often because the screen doesn't do as good of a job. Heck yeah, I can't believe it. I found a bottle of CamGuard in the stuff that we left from the last 210 over there. Fantastic. All right, so we're gonna fill this up, give this engine some extra protection. This stuff is awesome for the health of your engine. It's good to put it in at every oil change. But wait, there's more. Did you know CamGuard has an automotive blend? Yes, they got you covered for your cool sports car at home as well. Check it out, all the same good benefits, reduces engine wear, increases fuel economy, stops rust and corrosion, prevents varnish deposits, and conditions seals. Sounds good to me, especially for a car like this. This is my 1995 Ferrari 355, and I rarely drive this thing, so to have all the corrosion inhibitors in here, that'll really, really help, because this is a very, very expensive engine. I would know because we had to replace it. We used it in all of our airplanes, so when I heard they have an automotive blend, I was like, heck yeah, sign me up. Same idea, you just add it to the existing oil and you're done. There we go. So yeah, be sure to check out CamGuard, whether it's for your Ferrari or your Beechcraft Bonanza. I promise you, your engine will thank you. It's a small amount of money for all that protection. So I'm telling you, the best setup for the vast majority of plane owners is a common, cheaper oil like Phillips 20 weight 50, just the basic oil, and then you add that and you have the perfect setup. And if you don't believe me, then hit the links down below. You can see all the data, all the pictures. The guy who created it is an oil genius. Thank you, CamGuard, for supporting the channel, making videos like this possible. All right, one cowling piece on, 1 to go, and then we are ready to hit the skies. So like I said, I would explain why this plane was so cheap. Where do we begin? It's a long story. In quick summary, not the best logbook situation. Let's just say previous owner, they're gone. They're gone. They're probably never gonna come back. But the shop that maintained it for the last 10 years printed out the existing annuals and AD compliances. So we have that, but that's only for like the last 10 years, which I know it's from 1964. So that's a, oh my gosh, nearly 60-year-old airplane, and to only have 10 years of the logs, not good, I know, but legal, yes. So resale is gonna be severely hurt. I understand that. We're probably gonna keep this thing for a long time. We might give it away. You guys know we give away cars on JR Garage channel. Every big milestone, we give away a car. So I don't know, maybe if we hit 250,000 subs, we'll just like give away an airplane, not sure. So logbook situation, not great. Squawk situation, also not great. There's a slight leak, hydraulic leak from the landing gear rear actuator. I hope it's that. I really hope it's not any issue with the power pack. Otherwise this would be a nightmare. I mean, the power pack, as you guys know, if you're into 210s, very few people service them or overhaul them. They're like $10,000 or something, and they control so much of the landing gear. But I think this leak is just coming from one of the hydraulic actuators. Not the end of the world, about a couple $1,000 to fix. So with that being said, we're not gonna risk putting up the landing gear. That's right, we're gonna fly it over 1,000 miles with the gear down. I do not want to risk it not coming back down. I think it would go up. In fact, I'm sure it would work perfectly fine, but I don't want to risk it. So we'll take the 20 knot hit and just fly with it down. I'm just gonna have it looked at when it's back with our mechanic in Arizona. So we'll leave that down. Also, you'll most certainly realize that we're not rolling the GoPro to get the inboard audio through the headsets and talking on the radios and ATC, because something's wrong with the intercom. We cannot speak between each other. So this is gonna be really interesting. I'm pretty sure we're just gonna set up Bluetooth on our phones with the A20s and leave a phone call running so that we can communicate, because the intercom is messed up. I don't know, we tried to fix it, but it's not the end of the world. We can go without it. Also, what else is wrong? Other reasons why this plane was cheap. ADS-B, not set up yet. So we're flying without ADS-B. You don't need it. We're avoiding class Bravo, Charlie. We are just going like away from all big airports back to Arizona where the mechanic is. So we're legal there. I mean, we're legal in every regard. It's just that, like, you know, no intercom, no ADS-B. We do have ADS-B in, so situational awareness. Also, the transponder check is due, so we have to avoid airspace that requires the transponder. I don't think it's that sketchy at the end of the day. Some logbooks were lost, okay. Still legal to fly. Yes, it's gonna lose about, I think more like 20, 30, 40% of its value, maybe like 50% of its value. So still, if it's worth like maybe 125 normally, it ought to be worth. What do you guys think? Please comment down below. Once we get this plane all sorted out, all the squawks fixed, with missing logs, what do you think it's gonna be worth? I don't know. It's really hard to value these airplanes like that. So anyway, I figured we couldn't go wrong at 27K. Obviously, it's been a while since it's flown a long leg like this, 7 hours in one day. Also, the weather's gonna be really questionable, so we might have to break it up into 2 days.
I got about 70. If they won't go through by, we can do airdrop.
Well guys, time for an update. It's probably 3 hours later now. We probably should have been near El Paso, but we're running into some issues. Shocker! We did a couple of high-speed taxis. Everything felt pretty darn good. A little nose wheel shake, but that's pretty common for Cessnas. As long as we keep some weight off of it, it seems to be all right. So we did the high-speed taxis. We filled it up with fuel. We're about ready to blast on out of here. And we noticed that the trim on the elevator, although it was set to takeoff position, neutral, nothing, was pointed up. So even though we did not give it any input, it was neutral, should have been level, it was pointed in a different direction. Not a ton, but it's enough where it would really screw up a takeoff. So we marked the new neutral, which is just slightly up from center. Also, we're screwing around with the radios, and get this, we got the radios fixed. We just screwed around with all the buttons and knobs and all this and that, and we got the intercom and radio fixed. So that was like one of the biggest parts of why this plane was cheap, because that screwed up radios and all that stuff, but they work now. So we're about to take off, but it's taken a few hours because the battery died. We had to charge it because I forgot to mention it has a generator instead of an alternator. So until you hit like 1500 RPMs, it's discharging the battery. So now it killed the battery. So now, here we go. We're jumping it through their GPU. Okay. No! Okay, I can't say I'm that surprised, but it sure is a bummer to be pulling the plane back in the hangar right as we're ready to hit the skies, and now it just gets thrown back in our face. So I explained how the battery died and they had to come over and hook up the ground power unit to give it a bunch of life, but the fuel pump will no longer prime the engine. It's worked throughout the day, all past 4 or 5 startups, and now all of a sudden the startup where we're ready to go, it doesn't prime the engine. The fuel flow just won't even register, and you can hear it. You can hear it go, we didn't hear it. So clearly it's not going. It's registering 0 volts when he checked it with the master on. So are you kidding me? Like, did the fuel pump really just go out?
We did 5 separate startups throughout the day, different temperatures, different conditions, just to make sure that we were covering our bases. And we felt comfortable with the decision of heading out. Load up the plane, our final startup, and boom, nothing, literally nothing happened.
I don't know what we're gonna do. We have a small little fuel drip leak that we thought, oh, maybe it's coming from the fuel pump, and that's why it's broken, because fuel leaked on the electronics and fried it out. No, it's coming from the breather tube. So we were thinking that for a second, but now it's probably not that. We gotta go to Montana in a couple of days and we need to be home, but it's no big deal. We have a little bit of buffer time. Going to a dinner in a hotel and hitting it at 6 a.m. McCreary Aviation over here might have a Cessna fuel pump in stock because they carry some Cessna parts, but like, I don't know, it's a long shot. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, Texas, right on the border. And if we can't find a fuel pump, we're screwed. We're commercialing out of here for like $400 a ticket and not flying this thing home. But what can I say? That's the joy of buying planes far away from home. Can't say I didn't ask for that one. See you guys in the morning.
Feels right.
I knew I said I'd catch you guys in the morning, but check this out. I might have just figured out the issue. Before leaving, I was just poking around up here at the fuel pump, cleaning it off, just making sure it all looks okay. Looked all right. This is the ground, and then this other wire I think is the power. And then look, it just splits right from the connection. So I think that might be our problem. And then it leads into here and then all the way back for power. I can't believe it. Did I just solve that? I might try to fix it and still bounce out of here today. Let's see. Okay guys, moment of truth. 20 minutes later now, the mechanic just rewired the fuel pump. Hopefully that's all that was causing it not to run. So we should be able to hear it pretty easily. Okay, here we go. So master, And then fuel pump. Oh geez, what do you guys think? Will a little 2-cent fix solve our problem? Okay, master. Here we go. Ready? Fuel pump. We really hope we hear it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. Come on. Yes! Hear that? Boom! All right, that means we solved it because before it wouldn't make the noise and it wouldn't register anything on the fuel flow. I've never been more happy about a part making a whining noise than right now. Okay, this kind of changes everything because we were parking in the hangar because we didn't have a fuel pump. Now we do. Ah, shoot. But it's too late now. Sun sets at 8. No, it's already 7:13. Sun sets in about an hour, so the whole point is we want to fly during the day. So we're gonna have to push it back till tomorrow. That's what we were gonna do anyway when we were planning to replace the fuel pump. But thank goodness I just went up there to clean it off and look at it. Who would have thunk? Thank goodness. So tomorrow morning, I guess we'll just hit it bright and early at 7 a.m. and try to make it all the way home, 1,050 miles. Catch you guys tomorrow morning. Bam, and just like that, we are back. Day 2, baby Jay. It's 8 a.m. Let's go flying.
Let's go fly. Walked to the airport. We stayed right across the street. Shout out to that Super 8.
Yeah, way down there at the end, beyond the overpass, so about like a half-mile walk.
Yeah, here we are. Weather looks so much better today than it did yesterday. Jeffrey and I love saying everything happens for a reason. So, you know, yes, yesterday was stressful, yesterday was crazy, but you know, here we are this morning and way better weather, better tailwinds, better conditions overall. So we're feeling good about today. Yeah, everything does happen for a reason, and now we don't have to battle that hurricane that just went through or whatever. It was called like I think a tropical storm or like category 1 hurricane when it was off over the water, and then it made landfall, and it was pretty gnarly, and we would have had to go through that in El Paso. AKA, we wouldn't have been able to go through that. We would have had to spend the night last night in Pecos, Texas. It just would have been messy. So now we get to do it all in one shot. Ooh, the citation's pulled out. There's a couple jets here at the field, so that's kind of cool. Might see that rip over. So without further ado, let's pull out the plane, get hit in the skies. Alrighty, there she is. Got the battery charged up overnight. Come on, come on, baby. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Stop. Wow, we don't right off the end. I didn't know I would do that. John, you okay?
Yeah.
You caught that with your hands at the last second.
Fuel. There it goes. That ought to be good. Nice.
1007.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Traffic, Centurion 3969 Yankee, taking runway 14. This will be a left downwind departure.
Not touching the gear. Yep, instruments in the green. At 60. Beautiful. Feeling good?
Yeah. How are my engine gauges?
Everything's looking good.
Okay.
Good temps. We're charging. Good oil pressure. Okay, flaps coming up. Yep. Okay, 2,500 RPMs. That's healthy. That's fine. We're still full mixture.
Yeah. Cool. We're just going to do this. We're at 120. Nice stable climb. We're doing 500 feet per minute.
That sounds perfect. Great oil pressure. Good oil temp. Good cylinder head temp. We're probably very rich, but that's okay. Better be rich than too lean. It's doing great. That was a very nice takeoff. Feeling good. We're activating the 430. Cool that this plane has a 430. We'll test the autopilot once we're level. Actually feels really smooth.
It is a very smooth airplane, yeah. I mean, the engine, you know, Jeffrey and I did a lot of testing yesterday, but again, you know, it's a different day. You know, you never really know what's going to happen, how it's going to react, and so yeah, I'm pleased with that. I mean, everything looked good.
And we have intercoms. I can't believe it, guys.
I know, seriously, that would have been crazy yesterday trying to do this whole flight, not being able to. We were literally pulled up a note on Jeffrey's phone, and we were going to type back to one another.
Because we couldn't talk.
Yeah,
and we weren't even sure if the radios were working, but now we can transmit everything. This is wonderful. So, guys, it's so difficult to, you know, I love leaning and I love doing mixtures and engine management. But when you don't have an engine monitor, it's really tricky. And I don't even know if the EGT gauge works. I guess we can test it a little bit. We're probably good for a couple turns leaner, right? By now, I mean, we're already at 3,500.
Yeah.
That can warrant a couple turns.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
I want to see if this goes down too. 25 square, it's still pretty high power settings. So yeah, we've got to be careful of the red box. If you know engine management, you know what the red box is. Okay guys, we made it to 8,500, the moment of truth. The fuel flow gauge we think is either reading high or it's completely wackadoodle, but all I know is Lena Peak, it should be around like 12 gallons an hour. So we're gonna see, once we get to that setting, what it's gonna do. All right, so first up, we're gonna get to 2,300 RPM. There's 24. We're wide open throttle, 21 inches, because at this altitude, we're not gonna be making a whole lot of manifold pressure. Okay, that's 2,300. Feels good. Now, mixture time. We'll slowly start turning it back until we feel that slow down. And then look if that gets toward the red line. There's no red box, there's no danger zone because we're well below 65% power, so we cannot hurt the engine right now. And hopefully it'll run to Lena Peak, but we don't have gammy injectors. There's 17 gallons an hour if this is accurate. 16, still running smooth. I haven't even felt the slowdown, which it shouldn't yet. 15, 14.
They're at red line.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Do you feel that?
Yeah. Okay, that's roughness.
Yep, so go back in.
All right, so a little more still. Now we're coming down. I don't really care about the red line.
Yeah.
Because we're not in a danger zone. That would be bad at a lower altitude. It came down a little.
Yep, it did come down. Now it's a little bit below.
Okay, so yeah, we are rich of, God dang it. Are we rich of, yes, we're rich of peak. Just barely.
About 20 degrees rich of peak.
20 degrees rich of peak.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to do all this engine management math in my head. Okay, so not ideal for cool cylinders, like you should be like 10, 20 lean of peak, but I think with it being so cold outside and us being so high, obviously our rudimentary cylinder head gauge is showing very cool, so I don't think we're in a worry there. I think we need gammy injectors.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't liking that.
No.
I'm guessing a couple were running fine, but a couple were not getting enough fuel because it doesn't have smoothed out fuel flow. I mean, this is fine for speed. We're at optimal power right now. I mean, we should be ripping. What are we doing? 144 knots with the gear down over the ground.
Exactly.
Of course, we have a little tailwind.
Did you tell them why the gear's down?
Yeah, I kind of explained. I mean, it would probably work. If we put it up right now, it would probably go up. But we don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, because and I'm sure it would go up. My issue is I want it to come down.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, Jeffrey. We got this plane for such an incredible deal that, you know, obviously we knew that it was going to need work. That's why we negotiated down to the deal we got. We have room now to put in gammy injectors. We have room now to put in, you know, an engine monitor.
Right, guys, please comment down below. With this big budget we have to throw at it, what do you want to see mods-wise?
I mean, for really nice engine monitoring, is there anything that you guys would suggest? I mean, this is an awesome airplane. We're being very hesitant towards everything. You know, it's trust but verify type of situation. The plane hasn't flown in a long time, and it's new to us. So we're being very conscientious, very cautious with the whole thing. So far, seems really nice. It's smooth. It's very responsive, you know, it's doing what we want it to do, which is awesome. You know, we feel good about it. And now we're kind of to that point where, what can we do to it, you know?
Obviously, all the maintenance, I have to get it as safe as possible, and then come the mods. So comment down below, guys. How about we test the autopilot so we know if that needs to be a mod? We're at 8,500.
Yeah.
Worst case, we quickly disengage it. We should have probably checked that on the ground. Shoot.
Let's do it in Pecos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hate for it to have some servo out of whack.
Yeah, so we'll check the autopilot. We're going to be on the ground in about 2.5 hours in Pecos. That's where we stopped last time. Awesome FBO if you guys haven't been there.
To be above the clouds. Yesterday we would have had to be at like 3,500 or 3,000 feet literally for cloud coverage.
Yeah.
My engine management would be a nightmare at 3,000 at 3,000 feet. It'd be so tricky to tune this thing in without being in the red box. I can just breathe easy now. No hurricane in our way. Like, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Leaving the next day. It's like you got to go with the flow. You never got to be pressured to go in a plane.
Yeah, so ADM, according to the PHAC, ADM is the systematic approach to a consistent outcome.
I like that.
Yeah. It's like you guys, you and Owen, you know, in the Cirrus one day, you guys were going to go down to, was it Sedona for lunch? It was going to be really hot, so you guys made the decision.
Pacing. We're just like, that's
pacing,
the altitude,
exactly.
3 people.
Yeah.
You gotta be smart. You can always go somewhere else. You can always go around. You can always stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Let's get going. Okay, everyone, time to descend. We just passed 500 foot a minute descent rate on ForeFlight, so that's when we know time to start heading down for Pecos. We got lucky that the clouds are so scattered, it makes finding a hole very easy. I mean, everywhere is a hole, but on the backside of this cloud, we'll be good to just shoot down VFR. We're probably going to land runway 14, but we still have to pick up the ATIS. We're a little too far out, so we'll grab that in a second and then land at Pecos, fill up with fuel, grab a burrito and an icy pop, and be on our way. And of course, I'm going to check inside the cowling for any oil leaks, fuel leaks, anything.
Temperature 29 Celsius. Density altitude 4,600.
Just over 20 degrees, 85 knots, 75. 5 feet. Beautiful. Oh man, killed that.
Pecos traffic. Centurion 3969 Yankee is clear of runway 14, Pecos.
Crushed it. It did great, guys.
Same, well, not same airplane. Another 210. That was a 61A model. We're in the 64D model, but yeah, same fuel stop. Pecos, Texas.
There we go. Let's get out, fill it up. Hope it takes about 50 gallons because that'll be just right for my calculations. And eat, go. Bam. All right, let's go fill it up. Hello, Pecos, whatever the heck Texas. We made it. Such a simple FBO, but check it out. They got these brisket burritos, which they're known for in the fridge here.
So good.
Just leave a little tip. So I dropped 20 bucks there. So we're gonna take a few burritos and a couple cans of pop or water. And then of course, they got the freeze pops.
This is like the cheapest fuel in the area, and you get lunch.
And it's important, like small business, local families, local cities, so can't beat that. All right, filling up in just a second. We want to cool off first. You guys have seen us fuel before, so no need to show it again. All done here. Okay, so I was fairly close. I was hoping for under 50, a little off with my calculations. But overall, we at least know now that the gauge is incorrect because it was showing like something stupid, like 16 gallons per hour in cruise. If that were the case, along with the takeoff burn, we'd be well over 56 gallons used. So it's good to know that I was closer than what the gauge was saying. So we had plenty left, and now the leg's about the same distance, so we'll use probably 60 going to Arizona, and we'll have room to spare with reserves. Okay guys, time to hit the skies. I'm recording the video because this guy's hand propping is 182. I hope he knows what he's doing. Is he actually hand propping 182? Okay, anyway, I just wanted to take a quick second to appreciate this paint job now that's out in the glowing sun. Of course, it's still dirty, but look at that metallic shine. Can you guys get that? That green metallic shine? Oh my gosh, he actually did it. The plane did not move an inch. You know, I expected it to go.
So casual. He literally did it and then walked in.
All right, Jay, we're up. Let's go. I'll hit the prop. No thanks. Guys, we did the math and played safe. We're gonna make one more fuel stop. Why not? No need to risk it. We got plenty of time.
no rush. Yeah, we're gonna go to Casa Grande, I think, so catch you guys there.
Final is clear. Runway 14 is verified.
And no traffic around us.
Yep. Mixture is full rich, and we're squawking.
Full rich. Cow flaps is, yeah, this is open.
Full power is set.
Okay, yes.
Engine gauges are in the green.
Everything is correct.
Airspeed's coming alive.
There's 60 knots. We're up and away.
Full.
10 degrees flap still, and a right turn when you're ready down there. Okay, guys, looking good.
Positive rate, I'm gonna go flaps up.
Okay, flaps up. All right, guys, catch you when we're a little higher and a little cooler. It's hot. Hey, guys, we made it back up to 8,500 feet, and I have a revelation. This fuel flow gauge might actually be accurate after all. As you can see, we're running about 14 gallons an hour at 21.5 inches of manifold pressure and 2250 RPM. We're at about peak EGT right now, maybe like 20 rich of that. Again, peak horsepower, cylinder head temperature, and internal pressure inside the engine is about like 50-ish rich of peak. So we're a little back of there, so we're okay on the engine, but like I said, there's no red box anyway, so we're not really doing any harm, just we're back of the peak pressures. But we can't go lean of peak, unfortunately, without the gammies. Otherwise, I'd have this thing back to like maybe 12 gallons an hour. As good as we can do engine management and fuel burn wise, 14 gallons per hour. Okay, anyway, I wanted to update the vlog because right over there, 3 miles is restricted military operating area, right back there. But 3 miles that way is another danger zone that we can't enter. Jay, explain this 6 mile gap.
Yeah, so on our right we have the restricted area, it's military operations. To our left we have El Paso International Class Charlie. This airplane has no ADS-B out, so we cannot fly into or above the Class Charlie, nor can we fly above 10,000 feet. So we're at 8,500, threading the 6 mile gap between the Charlie, the restricted area, and then we're vertically, capped at 10,000. So 8,500. Believe it or not, this isn't even the closest gap. This one is 6 miles. The closest one that we're gonna have to thread is 2.2 miles. We're gonna have to go between the Mexico border and another kind of area of congested airspace where ADS-B is required, which we can't get into.
Boom. We probably could have made it to our destination. We were doing the math in our head and we're like, we might be able to push it. But again, new airplane, nowhere at the risk, so we're stopping in Hila Bend for some cheap fuel. It's the cheapest in like 300-400 miles. Yeah. It's the cheapest station. So we're like, all right, let's just go here.
This plane is finally to Arizona. It's been stuck in a hangar in Texas for
a long time. So get this, guys. I did new calculations based on that fuel flow gauge. So if that is correct, we will have burned 60 gallons. So let's let the numbers do the talking, fill it up, see if it's 60 gallons. Gosh, my poor credit card working up a serious bill today. These fuel stops aren't cheap. But again, I said after getting the citation, I would never complain about 100 low lead fill up again. Everything is peanuts compared to the citation. Okay, well, the river card is in and it is 53.8 gallons. So clearly the gauge is reading a little high, but not super high because my other guess was too low and now my guess following the fuel gauge is too much. So it reads maybe a gallon per hour high. I think that's the moral of the story.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we were thinking it would take 59, so I'm glad it was burning less than we thought it was.
Yeah, it's good to be less than more, that's for sure. So it reads a gallon high, whatever. Good to know. We'll triple check this and, maybe have the fuel flow calibrated, but I'm gonna check oil and then we'll hit the skies on our last leg. She's running great.
Okay, those power lines.
Yep, you're good now. You're at 70 knots. Cool. Beauty. Nice.
Dang! KC-135, refueler. I feel the burn. puts it into perspective how much work is required to move that weight at any sort of speed. New appreciation for the IO 520. It just moved us 1,000 miles at 150, 175 miles an hour.
Well, we did it.
We made it.
Plane is here in Arizona, finally.
Ready?
It was a good day. No issues.
It was.
Yeah.
Surprise. Just minor little squawks.
Yeah, it's nothing, literally nothing major. If you told us right now, after today, how it went, that we bought this plane for $27,000, would have zero belief in that statement.
You're lying. So now that we're at the end of the video, what do you guys think? Did we make a good purchase in this 1964 Cessna 210D for $27,000? I'm sure this video is gonna get hundreds of thousands of views. I hope it does. Please help it get to that by helping out the YouTube algorithm, by smashing the like button, and by dropping a comment down below. It really helps with the engagement.
Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, today was a ton of fun. Learned so much. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoy these new kind of mega vlogs where I keep them long. I hope it's nice just to grab a dinner, grab some popcorn, grab a drink, sit back and relax and watch a bigger style video instead of shorter 10-minute videos. So comment down below if you like the longer format videos. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.